Hi everybody, welcome back again. This should be the last part 4, I think, and it seems to be about a quarter left, so yeah. So I'll just crack on with it. Hear therefore the interpretation of the last black waters, to which are to come after the black. This is the word. Behold, the days come, and it shall be when the time of the age is ripened, and the harvest of its evil and good shall seeds has come. And the harvest of its evil and good seeds has come, that the mighty one will bring upon the earth and its inhabitants, and upon its rulers, perturbation of the spirit and stupor of heart. And they shall hate one another, and provoke one another to fight. And the mean shall rule over the honourable, and those of low degree shall be extolled above the famous. And the many shall be delivered into the hands of the few, and those who were nothing shall rule over the strong. And the poor shall have abundance beyond the rich, and the impious shall exalt themselves above the heroic. And the wise shall be silent, and the foolish shall speak. Neither shall the thought of men be confirmed, nor the counsel of the mighty, nor shall the hope of those who hope be confirmed. And when those things which are predicted have come to pass, then shall the confusion fall upon all men, and some of them shall fall in battle, and some shall perish in anguish, and some of them shall be destroyed by their own. Then the Most High peoples whom he has prepared before, and they shall come and make war with the leaders that shall then be left. And it shall come to pass that whatsoever gets safe out of the war shall die in earthquake, and whosoever gets safe out of the earthquake shall be burned by the fire. And whoever so gets safe out of the fire shall be destroyed by the famine. And it shall come to pass that whatever the victors and the vanquished get safe out of, and escapes all these things aforesaid, will be delivered into the hands of my servant Messiah. For all the earth shall devour its inhabitants. And the Holy Land shall have mercy on its own, and it shall protect its inhabitants at that time. This is the vision which you have seen, and this is the interpretation, for I have come to tell you these things because your prayer has been heard by the Most High. Hear now also regarding the bright lightning which is to come, and the consummation after these black waters. This is the word. After the signs have come, of which you were told before, when the nations will become turbulent, and the time of the Messiah is come, he shall both summon all the nations, and some of them he shall spare, and some of them he shall slay. These things therefore shall come upon the nations which are to be spared by him. Every nation which knows not Israel, and has not trodden down the seed of Jacob, shall indeed be spared. And this because some out of every nation shall be subjected to your people. To all those who have ruled over you, or have known you, shall be given up to the sword. And it shall come to pass, when he has brought low everything that is in the world, and has sat down in peace for the age of on his throne of his kingdom, that joy shall then be revealed, and rest shall appear, and then healing shall descend in due, and disease shall withdraw, and anxiety and anguish and lamentation pass from amongst men, and gladness proceed through the whole earth. No one shall again die untimely, nor shall any adversity suddenly befall. And judgments and abusive talk and contentions and revenges and blood and passions and envy and hatred, and whatsoever these things like shall all go into condemnation when they are removed. For it is these very things which have filled the whole earth with evils. And on account of these the life of man has been greatly troubled. And wild beasts shall come from the forest and minister unto men, and asps and dragons shall come forth from their holes to submit themselves to a little child. And women shall no longer have pain when they bear, nor shall they suffer torment when they yield the fruit of the womb. And it shall come to pass in those days that the reapers shall not grow weary, nor those that build will be toil worn. For the works shall of themselves speedily advance, together with those who do them in much tranquillity. For that time is the consummation of that which is corruptible, and the beginning of that which is not corruptible. Therefore those things which were predicted shall belong to it. Therefore it is far away from evils, and near to those things which die not. This is the bright lightning, which came after the last dark waters. And I answered and said, Who can understand, O Lord, your goodness? For it is incomprehensible. Or who can search out the compassions which are infinite? Or who can comprehend your intelligence? Or who is able to recount the thoughts of your mind? Or who of those who are born can hope to come to these things, unless he is one to whom you are merciful and gracious? Because if assuredly you did not have compassion on man, those who are under your right hand, they could not come to those things. But those who are in the numbers named can be called. But if, indeed, we who exist know wherefore we have come, and submit ourselves to him who brought us out of Egypt, we shall come again and remember those things which have passed, and shall rejoice regarding that which has been. But if now we know not wherefore we have come, and recognize not the principate of him who has brought us out of Egypt, we shall come again and seek after those things which we have been now, and be grieved with pain because of those things which have befallen. And he answered and said to me, Inasmuch as the revelation of this vision has been interpreted to you, as you requested, hear the word of the Most High, that you may know what is to befall you after these things. For you shall surely depart from this earth, nevertheless not unto death, but you shall be preserved unto the consummation of the times. Go up therefore to the top of the mountain, and there shall pass before you all the regions of that land, and the figure of the inhabited world, and the tops of the mountains, and the depths of the valleys, the depths of the seas, and the numbers of the rivers, and you may see what you are leaving, and whither you are going. Now this shall befall you after 40 days. Go now therefore during these days, and instruct the people so far as you are able, that they may learn, so as not to die at the last time, but may learn in order that they may live in the last times. And I, Baruch, went there and came to the people, and assembled them together, from the greatest to the least, and said to them, Hear, you children of Israel, behold how many of you who remain in the 12 tribes of Israel. For to you and to your fathers the Lord gave a law more excellent than all the peoples, and because your brethren transgressed the commandments of the Most High. He brought vengeance upon you and upon them, and he spared not the former. And the latter also he gave him into captivity, and he left not a residue of them. But behold, you are here with me. If therefore you direct your ways aright, ye also shall not depart as your brethren departed, but they shall come to you. For he is merciful whom you worship, and he is gracious in whom you hope, and he is true, so that he shall do good and not evil. Have you not seen here what has befallen Zion? Or do you perchance think that the place had sinned, and not that on account it was overthrown? Or that the land had wrought foolishness, and that therefore it was delivered up? Know you not on that account of you who did sin, that which sinned not was overthrown? And on account of those who wrought wickedly, that which wrought not foolishness was delivered up to its enemies. Sorry, I didn't read that very well. And the whole people answered and said to me, So far as we can recall the good things which the Mighty One had done to us, we do recall them. And those things which we do not remember, he in his mercy knows. Nevertheless, do this for us your people, write also to our brethren in Babylon an epistle of doctrine and a scroll of hope, that you may confirm them also before you depart from us. For the shepherds of Israel have perished, and the lamps which gave light are extinguished, and the fountains have withheld their stream whence they used to drink. And we are left in the darkness, and amid the trees of the forest, and the first of the wilderness. And I answered and said to them, Shepherds and lamps and fountains come from the law, and though we depart, yet the law abides. If, therefore, you have respect to the law, and are intent upon wisdom, a lamp will not be wanting, and a shepherd will not fail, and a fountain will not dry up. Nevertheless, as you said unto me, I will write also unto the brethren of Babylon, and I will send by means of men, and I will write in like manner in the 9 tribes and a half, and send by means of a bird. And it came to pass in 1 and the 12th day, in the 8th month, that I, Baruch, came and sat down under the oak tree, the shadow of the branches, and no man was with me, but I was alone. And I wrote these 2 epistles, one I sent by an eagle to the 9 and a half tribes, and the other I sent to those that were at Babylon by means of 3 men. And I called the eagle and spoke these words to it. The Most High hath made you, that you should be higher than all birds. And now go and tarry not in any place, nor enter a rest, nor settle upon any tree, till you passed over the breadth of the many waters of the river Euphrates, and have gone to the people that dwell there, and cast down them this epistle. Remember, moreover, that at the time of the deluge Noah received from a dove the fruit of the olive, when he sent it forth from the ark. Yea, also the ravens ministered to Elijah, bearing him food, as they had been commanded. Solomon also, in the time of his kingdom, whithersoever he wished to send or seek for anything, commanded a bird to go thither, and it obeyed him as he commanded it. Now let not weary you, and turn not to the right hand nor to the left, but fly and go by a direct way, that you may preserve the command of the Mighty One, according as I said unto you. These are the words of the epistle which Baruch the son of Neriah sent to the 9 and a half tribes, which were across the river Euphrates, in which these things were written. Thus says Baruch the son of Neriah to the brethren carried into captivity, Mercy and peace. I bear in mind, my brethren, the love of him who created us, who loved us from old, and never hated us, but above all educated us. And truly I know that, behold, all the 12 tribes are bound by one bond, insomuch we are born from one Father. Wherefore I have been the more careful to leave you your words of this epistle before I die, that you may be comforted regarding the evils which have come upon you, and that you may be grieved also regarding the evil has befallen your brethren. And again also that you may justify his judgment, which he has decreed against you should be carried away captive. For what you have suffered is disproportioned to what you have done, in order that in the last times you may be found worthy of your fathers. Therefore, if you consider that you have now suffered those things for your good, that you may not finally be contemned and tormented, then you will receive eternal hope. If above all you destroy from your heart vain error, on account of which you departed hence, for if you do so these things, he will continually remember you. He who always promised on our behalf to those who were more excellent than we, that he will never forget or forsake us, but with much mercy will gather together again those who had dispersed. Now, my brethren, listen first what befell Zion, how that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up against us. For we have sinned against him who made us, and we have not kept the commandments which he commanded us. Yet he hath not chastened us as we deserve. For what befell you, we also suffer in preeminent degree, for it befell us also. And now, my brethren, I make known unto you that when the enemy had surrounded the city, the angels of the Most High were sent, and they overthrew the fortifications of the strong wall, and they destroyed the firm iron corners, which could not be rooted out. Nevertheless, they hid all the vessels of the sanctuary, lest the enemy should get possession of them. And when they had done these things, they delivered thereupon to the enemy the overthrown wall, and the plundered house, and the burnt temple, and the people who were overcome because they were delivered up, lest the enemy should boast and say, "Thus by force we have been able to lay waste even the house of the Most High in war." Your brethren also have they bound and led away to Babylon, and have caused them to dwell there. But we have been left here, being very few. This is the tribulation about which I wrote to you. For assuredly I know the consolation of the inhabitants of Zion consoles you, so far as you knew that it was prospered. Your consolation was greater than the tribulation which you endured in having to depart from it. But regarding consolation, hear the word. For I was mourning regarding Zion, and I prayed for mercy from the Most High, and said, how long will these things endure for us? And will these evils come upon us always? And the Mighty One did according to the multitude of his mercies, and the Most High according to the greatness of his compassions. And he revealed to me the word, that I might receive consolation. And he showed me visions, that I should not again endure anguish. And he made known to me the mystery of the times, and the advent of the hours he showed me. Therefore, my brethren, I have written to you, that you may comfort yourselves regarding the multitude of your tribulations. For know that our Maker will assuredly avenge us on all our enemies, according to all that they have done to us. Also that the consummation which the Most High will make is very nigh, and his mercy that is coming, and the consummation of his judgment is by no means afar off. For lo, we see now the multitude of the prosperity of the Gentiles, though they act impiously, but they shall be like a vapour. And we behold the multitude of their power, though they do wickedly, but they shall be made like unto a drop. And we see the firmness of their might, though they resist the Mighty One every hour, but they shall be accounted as spittle. And we consider the glory of their greatness, though they do not keep the statutes of the Most High, but as smoke shall they pass away. And we meditate on the beauty of their gracefulness, though they have not to do with pollutions, but as grass that withers they shall fade away. And we consider the strength of their cruelty, though they remember not the end thereof, but as a wave they pass, they shall be broken. And we remark on the boastfulness of their might, though they deny the beneficence of God who gave it to them, but they shall pass away as a passing cloud. For the Most High will assuredly hasten his times, and he will assuredly bring his hours, and he will assuredly judge those who are in his world, and will visit in truth all things by means of their hidden works. And he will assuredly examine the secret thoughts, and that which is laid up in the secret chambers of all members of the male, and will make them manifest in the presence of all with reproof. Let none, therefore, of these present things ascend into your hearts, but above all, let us be expectant, because that which is promised to us shall come. And let us not now look for the delights of the Gentiles in the present, but let us remember what has been promised to us in the end. For the ends of the times and of the seasons, and whatever is with them shall assuredly pass by together. The consummation, moreover, of the age shall then show a great might of its ruler, when all things come to judgment. Do you therefore prepare your hearts for that which is before you believed, lest you come into bondage in both worlds, so that you be led away captive here, and be tormented there. For that which exists now, or which has passed away, or which is to come, in all these things neither is the evil fully evil, nor again the good fully good. And for the healthiness of the time are turning into diseases, and all might of the time is turning into weakness, and all the force of this time is turning into impotence, and every energy of youth is turning into old age and consummation, and every beauty of gracefulness of this time is turning faded and hateful, and every proud dominion of this present is turning into humiliation and shame, and every praise of this glory of this time is turning into shame of silence, and every vain splendour of insolence of this time is turning into voiceless ruin, and every delight of this joy of this time is turning into worms and corruption, and every clamour of the pride of this time is turning into dust and stillness, and every possession of riches of this time is turning into Sheol alone, and all the rapine of passion of this time is turning into involuntary death, and every passion of lust of this time is turning into judgment of torment, and every artifice and craftiness of this time is turning into a proof of the truth, and every sweetness of unguents of this time is turning into judgment and condemnation, and every love of lying is turning into contumely through truth. Since therefore all these things are done now, does anyone think that they will not be avenged? But the consummation of all things will come to the truth. Behold, I have therefore made known unto you these things, whilst I live, for I have said that it should learn the things that are excellent, for the Mighty One have commanded me to instruct you. And I will set before you some of the commandments of his judgment before I die. Remember that formerly Moses assuredly called heaven and earth to witness against you, and said, if you transgress the law, you shall be dispersed, but if you keep it, you shall be kept. And other things also he used to say unto you, when you the 12 tribes were together in the desert. And after his death he cast away from you. On this account there came upon you what had been predicted. And now Moses used to tell before you befell you, and lo, they have befallen you. For you have forsaken the law. Lo, I also say unto you, after you have suffered, that if you obey those things which have been said unto you, you will receive the Mighty One, whatever has been laid up and reserved for you. Moreover, let the epistle be for a testimony between me and you, that you may remember the commandments of the Mighty One, that also there may be a defence in the presence of him who sent me. Remember you the law and Zion, and the Holy Land, and your brethren, and the covenant and of your fathers, and forget not the festivals and the Sabbaths. And deliver this epistle and the traditions of the law to your sons after you, as also your fathers delivered them to you. And at all times make requests perseveringly, and pray diligently with your whole heart, that the Mighty One may be reconciled to you, and that he may not reckon the multitude of your sins. But remember the rectitude of your fathers, for if he judge us not according to the multitude of his mercies, woe unto us all who are born. I know, moreover, that in former times and the generations of old, our fathers and helpers, righteous men and holy prophets, no more we were in the land, and they helped us when we sinned. So that is it for Baruch. It's got a lot of stuff in there, a lot of information and detail. And regardless of who's written it, if it was from the Lord or if it was from Catholicism or whatever, whoever's written it is revealing their end and their what they believe is to come. And you know, the Lord doesn't do evil, but he can send evil upon man. So if this is their plan and they're going to bring the evil, then you know what, maybe it's the way the Lord wants it. I don't know, but still I find it quite fascinating and revealing of things to come, and it does tie in with the others as well. if you research it. But, yeah, so that's another one done. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll speak with you all soon. God bless.